Alright, welcome to another video for the topic for year 7. This is regarding approximation and estimation. So make sure your papers are in pages 41 and 42. Okay, now here is the definition for approximations. Basically, you have to obtain a rough value that is close to the exact value. And please, a reminder to use this symbol because this means approximately equal to, for example, if you're trying to round off 3,204, correct to the nearest, here it's 100, so 3,200. Okay, let's proceed to the example. Okay, this is a technique that we use to approximate value. We call it rounding off. So I will use the word rounding off just to make it easier. All right, let's start with the first one. Example number 1. Here you can see a stick is being measured, and you can see here it is exactly equal to 4.8 centimeter. But looking at the question, what is the approximate length of this stick? So you have to round off to the nearest whole number. So basically you have 5 centimeters, right? So 4.8. Okay, I forgot to tell you, you have to use the symbol here, right? So the symbol that you're going to use is this one, right? Make sure that you have this one. Okay, let me just, there's a different color for that. Okay, so that's first one. Okay, next one will be for each of the diagram below, write down the amount of liquid correct to the nearest 10 milliliters. So you can see here in the diagram for part A, it is almost equal to 20 milliliters. So you can do here is to use the symbol instantly, and you tell it is equal, almost approximately equal to 20 milliliters. All right, so that's part A. And you can see here in part B, in the diagram, you can see that it is approximately near to 40 milliliters. So your answer will be approximately equal to 40 milliliters, right? So that's the second example. All right, and then the next one. Okay, you can see here, this is regarding a football match. It is watched by 56,742 people. So write this number correct to the nearest. The first number is correct to the nearest 10,000. So let's have a look here at the exact number, which is 56,742. Now here I will guide you. When you are trying to approximate numbers correct to the nearest 10,000, first of all, you pick a target for which you are rounding off to. So this is 10,000. So I will put a box to number 5 because that's the one that you're going to round off. Right now, and then when you look at number 5, you have to look the digit next to number 5. Right side of number 5, it is 6. So when it is 5 or above, so when the number is 5 or above, you have to add 1 to the number 5. So the first digit is no longer 5, it's going to be 6. But then when you look here, it is to the nearest 10,000. So 6 is 60,000 to the nearest 10,000, right? So 60,000 is the nearest 10,000, right? So that's working for the first one, right? Okay, let's proceed to the part B. Okay, when you look at part B, it asks you to round off to the nearest 10,000. So all you can do is to write down the number back, 56,742, right? So your target is number 6, right? So I will give it a box because I want to run 6 off instead of number 5, right? Now here You can see that 6 is the target. Okay, so for this one, you have to maintain the 5, okay, behind on the left side of the 6, because that's not affected, but the one that will be affected is 6 and the digit right to it. So 6, when you look at the right side of 6, it is 7, so that's 5 or above. So when it's 5 or above, the 6 should be added by 1, so it becomes 57. Now this 7 is for nearest 1000, so 57,000, right? So that's the second part. Okay, and then last but not least, here part C, you can see here the same thing you're going to do is write down the number back. And where's the target here? So this is the nearest 10, so the digit they're going to round off is 4, so that's my target. Okay, now when you see it back, okay, when you have a look back 4, look at the digit on the right side. So that is 2, that's 4 or below, so 4 is not affected. You don't have to plus anything. So the nearest is, don't forget that the left side digits are not affected, but 4 will be affected. It's going to be added by 1 or no. So 56,704, nearest 10 is 40, right? So that's the first, that's the example, right? So this one is quite clear, right? Double check again your answer. So here is no problem. Okay, now this one is when you are going to round off numbers to a specified number of decimal places. So here, this is the one instruction that I've told you. You have to check the digit right to the right of the place to which you are rounding. So when it is 5 or more, you have to round up. When it's less than 5, you have to round down. So let's start. Okay, so example number 1, when you have 5.127, correct to one decimal place. Okay, you have to see here, write it down back, 5.127. Okay, here, when you see the word decimal place, it means that the digit that is affected is the one that is right to the decimal point. So 5.127 is 1 decimal place is number 1, 2 decimal place is number 2, and the third decimal place will be 7. So when you see it is 1 decimal place, the number that is affected that we're going to box is number 1. So when you see it back, okay, don't forget that the digit behind the left side of number 1 is not affected, so 5 point. And 1 here, when you look back, it is it affected or is it going to stay the same? It is going to stay the same because number 2 next to number 1 is below 4 or below, so 5.1. And then the digits here, when you have decimal places, it is actually 0, 0, right? But here you don't have to write down the 0. That's not necessary because you are rounding off to the 1 decimal place. So this is your answer already. Okay, 5.1 is your answer for the first one. Okay, for the 2 decimal place, write it down back. Okay, so here is 5.127. So the first decimal place is number 1, as the part A explained. Now for the 2 decimal places, it is affecting digit number 2. So here, when you look back, okay, 5.1 is not affected. You just have to write it down and don't forget this symbol, 5.1. But 2 here, let's have a look. Focusing on it, you have to see that the digit right next to it is 5 or above. So 2 is going to be added by 1. So you have your answer, 5.13. Right? So 5.13 is the answer for the next one. Okay, now for example number 2, it's going to be the same thing, but you have to recall the tens, the 100, and the 1000. Where's the place value? So this one you can try by yourself. Okay, So that's it. Thank you very much and good luck.